So far this weekend, it's tough to add it up precisely, but I would estimate that I've worked on music in the neighborhood of 25 to 28 hours. So that's ranging from singing to arranging vocals to working on creating new songs to writing lyrics to playing the piano, like it just all over the place. But I've been making a lot of progress. I finally got You Don't Know Me released, which is important because, oh man, was that one a labor of love. But I'm really proud of how it came together. And I'll make a video that shows the project file and basically the transformation process of how I turned my favorite version of that one into the song that it became. But yeah, it took a lot of work. But when I find that, when I have something that I'm really excited about and I hear what it has the potential to become, I think exploring that is the thing for me to do. And most of the songs that I'm going to create will probably not be as work intensive as that one was. However, it's really, really good for moving forward. That on the songs that are the most important to me, or just the ones that, like, I wouldn't have said that that was one of my favorite songs as I went into the process of making it, but it was one that I was decently excited about. And it captures something about my experience growing up in an interesting way. But it wouldn't rank in like my top 10 or even top 20 songs. But what I'm getting at is that putting in the work on that one gives me the confidence that for the songs that are the most important to me, I can bring what I hear in my head to life with the tools that currently exist. And that's really cool. That's really exciting. I think with these videos, I do want to start to integrate more of the fitness components and more of the philosophy as well. Because for the foreseeable future, if I'm doing it as like daily journals and just updates, for the most part it's going to be like, guess what, I worked on music for either 4 hours today if it's a work day, or 8 hours today if it's a honestly more like 12 the last two. I won't hit 12 today, but yeah, probably 10 or so on Friday, and then about 12 yesterday, and then like 3 or 4 today. So all adds up for sure. So maybe I'm actually undercounting, where I think it was in the video yesterday that I estimated myself at like 35 hours of music. This week it's probably closer to 40. So I'm not undercounting by that much, but anyway, that's what it looks like though. If you really want to make something happen, you approach it as though you have 2 full-time jobs. I actually should approach it as though I have 3 full-time jobs, and the third one is sleep, which I would say overall I've been doing better with. This morning I did wake up with my alarm, but I felt relatively well rested. So anyway, but getting back to what I was talking about just a second ago, yeah, I think for these, I want to do a little bit more philosophical exploration. And I think that one potential source of inspiration for that would be to revisit a lot of my voice memos and notes, because I think there are many lessons that I've learned that I could definitely be reminded of and have some benefit from that. Because I think that's one of the most costly things that I do. It's like I will learn a lesson, but then as circumstances change, then maybe I don't fully translate it into my systems all the way, or maybe it just regresses somehow. Like there were times that I had my sleep schedule absolutely dialed in, but I don't know that I've had my sleep schedule dialed in a healthy way and had a full-time job and had a real social life. And honestly, I think on the count of the last one, not that I don't need to socialize, I think that's important, but I've intentionally put myself in a work environment with my role as a personal trainer where I do get a lot of my social needs met through that work environment, and that's very important. And so then that gives me a little bit more flexibility for on the weekends like this. In all honesty, I would rather spend 90% of 90% of my weekends working on music. Straight up. Maybe I'd put those numbers at 80%, but like most weekends, I want to work on music most of the time. And there are other things that I can do as well, but I think that this is just how I want to operate. So I will work on starting to put some of the feedback that I've got into practice. I've been really, really consumed with getting You Don't Know Me finished, and like I said, that it's been very work intensive. And while music is still going to be at the top of my priority list, I can definitely begin to do a better job integrating here. I'm also going to launch my music, like the social channels, to actually start getting it out on October 10th. So I'm looking forward to that. And I have a pretty good sense of what I want to do with those videos. Mostly just show the transformation process and show how I'm bringing it to life. And I think that that is the right way to go at this particular stage. And then I will learn as I go. So much like with this, I'm going to approach those videos trying to have relatively low overhead. But also you could just think of like the overhead, like the time I've already invested into creating the songs. And so just to document that process and to show you the behind the scenes of what it looks like is a relatively minimal time expenditure compared to the amount of time that I spent actually just bringing it to life, right? And so I think that that's a really good way to go. And as much as I love the music myself and have been happy to see how it's affected the people around me in a positive way, I do want to get it out there to the world. And the metric that I'm grading myself on is not streams necessarily. Like that's not the most important thing to me. But if I do want to have my songs make the best positive impact that they can make, I got to get them out there to people. And so I think that this is an interesting way of hopefully in documenting the actual transformation process that will, one, help people to start to just hear my music and actually get it out there. But two, I'm also hopeful that it will inspire other people to do the same thing or to do their version of the same thing. But like, I consider myself to be a pretty good songwriter, maybe even a great songwriter. Don't judge based on what's out so far. Give me some time because I've got Oh man, so many songs that exist, and especially as the AI tools continue to improve, like mostly as the context window gets larger, the stuff that I can start plugging in there is going to be. I'm very excited, but I wouldn't consider myself to be a great musician at this stage, or even a good one, really. I'm getting better for sure, and even today I was just playing the piano and created like three different melodies that I really liked that just emerged spontaneously out of trying to figure out the chords of the song that I wrote a few weeks ago. And my brain is just a pattern detecting machine, which I guess is probably everybody's brain to some extent. It's just like, which patterns are we optimized for? But yeah, I'm really excited for how this is coming together. And I'm excited to continue to make these videos better as well. I think focusing from here more on the big picture life philosophy rather than the day-to-day minutia is for sure the way to go. At least just for a season, and experiment with it and see how it feels. So that'll require a little bit more preparation, which is a good thing. And so I'll just have philosophical musings, and then I think for the short form content, I will have the fitness videos as like kind of the overlay. So I think that is a reasonably compelling idea. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like yet, but it gives me some room to iterate. And I think just starting with making more philosophical videos and coming into it with a bit more preparation is a great place to begin. Or not even to begin, to continue, because I've already been doing this, and that's the other cool thing. Like I said before, the level of work that I put in with You Don't Know Me, especially the main version, I won't be able to do that on every single version of every single song, but having that skill of, I talked before about some of the songs only require minor surgery of like it gets it pretty close with the AI tools, and then I'm just putting the pieces together to make sure it flows smoothly, to make sure that all the parts work, sometimes punching in or out a couple pieces. But that's relatively minor surgery, and then like major surgery is like I can still use the original seed as a skeleton of sorts, but I'm having to plug in a lot more pieces. This one was like not even surgery anymore. It was like trying to create a new being, and it took a lot. It took a lot of work, but I'm really proud of how it came together, and it feels so smooth, and like you would never know how many parts are in there because of how meticulous I was on like every little thing, like every little volume automation, making sure that they all fade in and fade out at the right place, and using that to direct the momentum of the song. And it's like one of the interesting things about this one, at least from my perspective, it's so damn good, but it's not satisfying. Like the chorus, I'm thinking of the second chorus in particular, it hits really hard, but it fades out so fast. Of like it just starts losing momentum. And I did it like that on purpose because like that's what the song is about. Of like trying to psych myself up to talk to a girl that I like, but just not having it. So little high school me, just getting all excited, and it fades back into nothing. And I feel like I did the best job of capturing that emotion, of compressing that experience, and giving it to you in a way that hopefully can resonate with you too. Because I'm sure that everybody has had what's at the root of this emotion, even if it's not exactly the same circumstances, but just like feeling like you're not good enough. Maybe to take it slightly darker, like you never will be. Anyway. And then, speaking of slightly darker, the next song that's coming out is called Nightmares. And dude, like that one is very, very different. I took off my watch. Now I'm terrified that I accidentally zoomed this and made a mess of the thing, like I often do. But anyway, yeah, Nightmares is totally different sound, totally different feel, but it's about the same age of my life. It's like that approximate moment in time. And I feel like releasing these two consecutively gives me a lot of freedom to just explore whatever it is I want to explore. And that's exactly how it should feel. And not everybody's going to like every song, and that's okay. Like if I try to make every song into something that everyone would like, then they're all going to sound the same. Like, that's stupid. The role of each song is to compress and then express a specific emotion that I'm trying to get out of me. That's really how I process it, is by writing the words. But then it's cool too, because like the words, I feel like even alone have some value, but there's like this whole world of feeling that goes in conjunction with that just the words on a page or a screen can't convey on their own, and even me reading them to you can't convey. But with the music, it comes through. So, I know I've said the same version of like 40 different things, and that all of my last several videos are basically the same. So, bear with me as I'm iterating and learning. But I'm really excited about where I'm at. And so far, I feel like this channel has been a massive success, having less to do with any metric of the channel itself, and more like what it has helped me to do in my life surrounding it, of where, like I said, I've been substantially more consistent. I've been prioritizing the things that are actually important to me, and I've been putting music out to the world. Like, there are videos in the early days of this channel where I said I wasn't even going to be thinking about that for years, and I was just wrong. And so I think that that's one of the interesting aspects of this too. It's just that time capsule. Like, you can see the transformation already, and it's been like 51 days. No, I guess since I started it would have been like 55 or 56. But that's what I'm getting at, is like, imagine that zoomed out over 500 days or 5,000 days. Like, what are the types of transformations that we're going to see? And I'm excited about that. So I'm really happy about how far I've come, both in the past couple months and honestly the past couple decades. I've grown up a lot in my 23 and some change years on this planet, and I'll continue to grow. I'm doing the best I can to be learning every moment.